Welcome back to Coin Discovery USA, the place where hidden treasures and everyday pocket change are revealed and where ordinary coins can turn into extraordinary discoveries. And today we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1986 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors around the world because certain rare versions of this coin have been valued at an astonishing $17 million due to extraordinary mint errors, unusual production mistakes, and extremely rare varieties that can transform a simple copper-colored penny into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. And while millions of 1986 Lincoln cents were produced by the United States Mint, only a tiny number carried the types of rare characteristics that make collectors willing to pay unbelievable prices. Which is why coin hunters everywhere are paying closer attention to every penny they see, because the next valuable discovery could literally be sitting in a jar, coin roll, or pocket right now, and the story begins at the U.S. Mint facilities, where billions of coins are produced each year using high-speed presses, metal planchets, and carefully engraved dies that stamp the design onto blank coins. But despite advanced technology and quality control procedures, mistakes can and do happen during the minting process. And when those mistakes occur, they create mint errors that collectors consider extremely valuable because they are rare, unusual, and impossible to reproduce intentionally once the minting process has finished. And the 1986 1-cent coin is especially interesting because it was produced during a time when the Lincoln cent was already being struck on a copper-plated zinc composition, a change that began in 1982 when rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to switch from solid copper pennies to a lighter zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. And this change in metal composition introduced a variety of new potential minting problems, including plating errors, planchet defects, and striking abnormalities that can dramatically change the appearance and rarity of a coin. And collectors searching through 1986 pennies have discovered several types of remarkable mint errors that can push the value of a coin far beyond its 1-cent face value, and in extremely rare circumstances into the realm of millions of dollars when the error is unique, dramatic, and preserved in exceptional condition. And one of the most talked about possibilities for a high-value 1986 1-cent coin is the presence of a dramatic double die error, which occurs when the coin die receives a misaligned impression during its creation at the mint, causing the design elements such as the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "I in God we trust" to appear doubled on the final coins. And when doubling is strong and clearly visible, it becomes highly desirable to collectors because it represents a genuine minting mistake that happened before the coins were ever struck, making every coin produced from that die a legitimate variety. And certain double-die pennies from different years have sold for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their visibility and rarity. Which means that if an extreme double-die variety from 1986 were discovered with dramatic separation in the lettering and numbers, it could attract enormous attention from the numismatic community and push its potential value to extraordinary levels. And another possibility that could make a 1986 penny worth incredible money is an off-center strike, a type of mint error that happens when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned between the dies during the striking process, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing and the remaining design is shifted to one side, and the more dramatic the off-center strike while still showing the date and key features, the more desirable it becomes because collectors prefer errors that clearly reveal both the mistake and the coin's identity. And when a coin shows a large blank area along with a partial design, it instantly becomes a unique collectible piece of mint history. And in rare cases, extreme off-center coins preserved in pristine condition can command extraordinary prices in the collector market, especially when they come from popular coin series like the Lincoln cent. And yet another fascinating possibility involves the rare occurrence of a broadstrike error, where a coin is struck outside the retaining collar that normally shapes the edge of the coin, causing the coin to expand outward and appear larger and flatter than normal, lacking the typical raised rim that surrounds the design. And broad-struck coins often look dramatically different from regular coins, which makes them visually appealing to collectors and highly collectible. And when combined with other unusual minting circumstances, the rarity increases even further, potentially creating a coin that becomes a legendary discovery among collectors. And the 1986 1-cent coin can also become extremely valuable if it was struck on the wrong planchet, a remarkable type of mint error that occurs when a blank intended for another denomination accidentally enters the penny striking press, producing a coin that carries the Lincoln cent design but is made from the metal composition of another coin such as a dime, a foreign coin blank, or another denomination entirely. And wrong planchet errors are among the most exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting, because they represent a clear breakdown in the minting process that allows a completely unexpected coin to exist, and when such an error is confirmed and authenticated by professional grading services, it can become one of the most talked about coins in the collecting world, sometimes reaching incredible values depending on its rarity and uniqueness. And another unusual feature collectors search for on 1986 pennies is a dramatic die crack or cut error where a portion of the coin die breaks or fractures during production, causing raised lines or blobs of metal to appear on the struck coins. And while small die cracks are common and usually worth modest premiums, extremely large or unusual cut errors can become highly desirable because they create a striking and unmistakable visual difference that collectors can easily identify. And the more dramatic the die break appears on the coin, the more attention it receives from collectors who specialize in error coins, and sometimes these pieces become famous examples within the numismatic community, and the condition of a coin also plays an enormous role in determining its potential value because collectors strongly prefer coins that remain in pristine or near perfect condition, meaning that a rare error discovered on a 1986 penny that has never circulated and still retains its original mint luster can command dramatically higher prices than the same error found on a heavily worn coin. And when rarity, dramatic error, characteristics, and exceptional condition come together in a single coin, the result can be a truly extraordinary collectible that attracts intense bidding from collectors around the world. And this is why the idea of a 1986 1-cent coin being worth $17 million captures so much attention among coin hunters and treasure seekers, because the possibility that such a rare combination of errors and preservation could exist keeps collectors searching through bags of pennies, bank rolls, and old collections hoping to uncover the next unbelievable discovery. And what makes coin collecting especially exciting is that these discoveries often happen unexpectedly when someone decides to look closely at coins that most people ignore. And throughout history, many valuable coins have been discovered in everyday circulation simply because someone took the time to examine the details carefully, checking the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the overall appearance for anything unusual or out of the ordinary. And the Lincoln cent series is particularly popular among collectors because it has been produced for more than a century and includes countless varieties, errors, and design changes that make the hunt endlessly fascinating, and the 1986 penny sits right in the middle of this long history. Produced in massive numbers but still capable of hiding rare mint mistakes that transform a common coin into a remarkable collectible, and for anyone interested in coin hunting, the key is to examine every coin carefully under good lighting, sometimes using a magnifying glass or coin loupe to reveal tiny details that might otherwise go unnoticed, because even small variations such as doubled lettering, unusual surfaces, missing design elements, or strange metal colors can signal the presence of a valuable error coin. And as collectors continue to study and catalog new varieties, the potential for discovering something previously unknown remains very real, which means the next legendary coin discovery could be waiting in a simple jar of spare change, and that possibility is exactly what keeps the excitement alive in the world of numismatics, reminding everyone that even a humble penny like the 1986 1-cent coin could one day shock the world with a value reaching $17 million if the right combination of rare minting errors, unique characteristics, and pristine preservation is found. Next, the 1996 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world because certain rare versions of this coin have been estimated by experts and collectors to reach astonishing values approaching $13 million when the right combination of rare mint errors, unique production mistakes, and exceptional preservation come together in a single coin. And what makes this story even more exciting is that millions of these coins were produced for circulation, which means many people may still have one sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or old coin collection without realizing the incredible potential value it might hold. Because while most 1996 Lincoln pennies are worth only 1 cent in everyday use, A very small number display unusual mint-made errors that transform them from common currency into rare collectibles that serious numismatists are willing to pay extraordinary prices to obtain, and understanding why this particular coin can reach such incredible values begins with learning about how coins are made and how rare mistakes sometimes occur during the minting process at facilities such as Philadelphia or Denver, where billions of coins are produced using high-speed presses, metal blanks known as planchets, and carefully engraved dies that stamp the designs of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse of the coin. But even with strict quality control and advanced manufacturing technology, mistakes can still happen during production, and these mistakes often create unique variations that collectors eagerly search for. And one of the most famous and valuable possibilities associated with the 1996 1-cent coin is the appearance of dramatic double die errors, where the design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process, producing noticeable duplication in the lettering, numbers, or portrait details that can be clearly seen under magnification, and when such doubling occurs strongly enough to be visible on important parts of the coin such as the date, the word liberty, or the motto "I in God we trust," collectors consider it a major variety, and the value of the coin can rise dramatically depending on the strength of the doubling and the condition of the piece. And another possibility that contributes to the legendary reputation of the 1996 penny is the occurrence of off-center strikes, which happen when the planchet is not perfectly positioned inside the coining press at the moment the dies strike the metal blank, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing and the blank area remains visible. And when this type of error happens significantly, such as 20% or 50% off-center while still retaining a visible date, collectors find the coin extremely desirable because each off-center strike is unique and demonstrates a dramatic mint mistake that escaped quality inspection. And in addition to doubling and off-center strikes, there are also rare cases where coins are struck on the wrong type of planchet, which means the metal blank used in the press was intended for a completely different denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin planchet accidentally mixed into the production line. And when a Lincoln cent design appears on the wrong planchet, the result is a coin that differs in weight, color, and diameter from a normal penny, making it an extraordinary error that collectors compete fiercely to obtain, sometimes driving the price to remarkable levels depending on the rarity and documentation of the piece. And then there are broadstrike errors, which occur when the retaining collar that normally holds the coin in place during the strike fails to engage correctly, allowing the metal to expand outward beyond its normal diameter while being stamped by the dies, creating a coin that looks stretched or unusually wide. And although broadstrike errors vary in size and appearance, high-quality examples from popular years like 1996 can attract significant attention among collectors because they clearly demonstrate a failure in the minting process that should normally be prevented by modern machinery. And the list of potential value-creating features does not stop there, because clipped planchet errors also exist where a portion of the metal blank is missing before the coin is struck due to an overlap in the sheet punching process that creates the round planchets. And when such a clipped blank passes through the press, it produces a coin with a curved missing section while still displaying the original design, making it an unmistakable mint error that collectors love to add to their collections due to its distinctive shape and rarity. And beyond the physical errors themselves, another factor that influences the extraordinary value of a 1996 1-cent coin is its grade or state of preservation, which refers to how well the coin has survived since leaving the mint, because coins that remain in pristine condition with sharp details, bright luster, and minimal wear are graded higher by professional grading services and can command significantly higher prices than worn examples. And when a rare error appears on a coin that has also remained in near perfect condition for decades, the combination of rarity and preservation can cause its value to increase dramatically as collectors and investors compete for ownership of such an exceptional specimen. And this is one of the reasons why stories about coins potentially reaching values around $13 million continue to excite collectors, because the possibility exists that somewhere a unique or previously undiscovered error specimen from 1996 may be waiting to be identified, perhaps stored in an old coin album, a forgotten bank roll, or a family inheritance collection where no one realized its significance. And that idea fuels the enthusiasm of treasure hunters and hobbyists who carefully examine their pennies using magnifying glasses and digital microscopes, searching for unusual characteristics that might indicate a rare mint mistake. And the process of discovering such a coin can be thrilling because it combines history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of the unexpected, especially when a seemingly ordinary coin suddenly reveals unusual doubling, strange alignment, or metal irregularities that set it apart from millions of normal coins produced during the same year. And collectors often remind beginners that patience and careful observation are essential when searching through large quantities of coins, because many valuable pieces have been discovered only after examining hundreds or even thousands of pennies, and sometimes the smallest detail, such as an extra line in a letter or an unusual texture in the metal, can signal the presence of an important variety that deserves closer inspection by experts. And professional authentication and grading services play an important role in confirming whether a suspected coin is genuine and determining its official grade, which can then influence how much collectors are willing to pay for it at auction or through private sales. And when a coin receives certification from a respected grading company, it gains credibility and market visibility, allowing collectors around the world to compete for ownership of a verified rarity. And over time, these remarkable pieces can become famous within the numismatic community, as they change hands between collectors and appear in major auctions where bidding excitement pushes prices higher and higher. And while not every 1996 penny will display these rare features, the knowledge that even one extraordinary example could exist somewhere in circulation keeps the search alive and motivates coin enthusiasts to continue exploring the coins they encounter every day. Because history has repeatedly shown that valuable discoveries often come from the most ordinary places, and the possibility that a small copper coin minted decades ago could one day be recognized as a multimillion-dollar rarity valued at around $13 million adds a sense of mystery and excitement to the hobby of coin collecting that few other collectibles can match. And this is exactly why learning about mint eras, production varieties, and grading standards can be so rewarding for collectors who enjoy the thrill of uncovering hidden value in everyday objects. Because each coin carries a story of how it was created, how it traveled through circulation, and how it eventually found its way into the hands of someone curious enough to examine it closely. And sometimes that curiosity leads to discoveries that capture the attention of the entire numismatic world, transforming a humble 1996 1-cent coin into a legendary piece of American minting history whose rare errors, unique characteristics, and remarkable survival could potentially place its value among the most astonishing coin stories ever told.